Look. Alexander Usyk is a guy who is much, I don't want to say much smarter, but he fights in a more aesthetically pleasing manner. It's a joy to watch a real chess master like Usyk, who has much better footwork than Vitali. Vitali, oh man, that guy had the gift of the heavy hands, but he was so smart. And he understood that he didn't have to load up on anything to hurt his opponents. All he had to do was touch him with those heavy-ass 6'10" hands, right? Dude, he just had to touch you with the jab. And what he did so proficiently, and guys, watch his fights, him whooping the ass of Sam Peter, him whooping the ass of Danny Williams, right? Like, he was so dominant after Lennox Lewis retired, it was almost unfair to watch him in the ring. And what he would do so well is work behind the jab, and he would crack you with the 1-2 down the middle. And while he had his hands extended, not only would he punch you, he would keep his hands there and shove you to the side and step around you so you couldn't counter. It was downright unfair. Like, honestly, how many close competitive fights did you see Vitali Klitschko a part of after the Lennox Lewis fight? You didn't.
Not a lot.
Like, you didn't. Like, honestly, I could count on one hand how many rounds he lost throughout the rest of his career after the Lennox Lewis fight. I can only count maybe 2 or 3.
I thought there was a fight.
That's how dominant he was. Vitali, like, that dude was, it was, like I said, it was unfair. Go watch him work, guys, and it was absolutely masterful. Not the most aesthetically pleasing fighter, but when you see him work, and it's downright, because once again, he has his hands extended, and he shoves you to the side and steps around you, and you can't do a damn thing about it. Go watch the Chris Arreola fight. Go watch the Danny Williams fight. Go watch the Corey Sanders fight.
Was it Sanders or Briggs?
I
have a question. Was it Briggs or Sanders that Vitali lost to?
No. He only lost to Lennox Lewis and Chris Bird.
Oh,
and those were 2 fights that he was winning at the time of the stoppage. That's how dominant Vitali Klitschko was. And he had a real mean streak. He didn't want to just beat you. He wanted to punish you, man.
Between those 2 brothers, Vitali and Vladimir, who would be a worse matchup-wise? Would you say Vitali would be the worst matchup for Usyk or Vladimir?
Honestly, both of them are nightmares for Alexander Usyk. But the worst, and like, I can't see anyone even today beating Vitali Klitschko. That guy was one of the most dominant heavyweights I've ever seen in my life and will ever see in my lifetime.
Do you think his boxing skills get underrated because of his power?
And like I said, he didn't have like one-punch knockout power. He was always that Vitali. No, how many guys did you see knock out in one punch? It never happened because he didn't load up. He knew that with his heavy ass hands and with his checkmate technique, that it was insurmountable for any. Like, he would put you in checkmate as early as the 1st or 2nd round, and all he did was rinse and repeat. And you couldn't win a round. And he wouldn't load up on any shot, so you couldn't outwork him. He would just touch you with his hands. And after 5 or 6 rounds, you would see your face would look like a bloody mask.